Imagine just for a second that the quality of care your child got could totally change just by, I don't know, driving across a state border.
Yeah.
Like trusting your child care center felt a bit risky, a bit like rolling the dice.
It definitely could feel that way for some families.
Thankfully, here in Australia, that's largely not the case anymore. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Australia's National Quality Framework, you'll hear it, called the NQF for Early Childhood Education.
That's right.
Our goal really is to cut through the jargon. We want to give you a clear shortcut to understanding this, well, pretty big system.
It's comprehensive.
Yeah, what it means for kids, for families, for the services themselves. We really want you to walk away knowing why it's so important.
And important is definitely the right word. Look, the NQF wasn't just dreamed up overnight. It came in back in 2012 to solve a really specific problem.
Which was?
Well, before that, we had this kind of patchwork,
Yeah.
different systems in different states,
Well,
often inconsistent. So the core idea of the NQF was to unify all that, to regulate, assess, and crucially, keep improving early childhood education and care right across the country.
so consistency?
Consistency and lifting the overall quality for every child.
Okay.
And its main goals are pretty clear: boosting educational and developmental outcomes for kids and making sure they're safe, healthy, and looked after, their well-being.
Makes sense.
Now, it's also worth saying what it's not trying to do. It wasn't designed just to create more paperwork, more red tape.
Which some people might think.
Exactly. Or to bring back those separate state systems it replaced. It's fundamentally about streamlining things
Yeah.
and raising that quality bar nationwide, making it easier for everyone to get their head around it and trust it.
Okay, so this idea of a national standard, it sounds like a massive undertaking. What is this NQF thing, fundamentally? How does it bring everything together?
It really is a whole system approach, and it's built on some really core guiding principles. For example, it doesn't just hope for best practice.
It expects it.
It expects it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the framework sees children not just as, empty vessels, but as successful, competent, capable learners. That's a big shift,
That's a powerful perspective.
isn't it? And it champions equity, inclusion, diversity. These aren't optional extras. Plus, there's a real valued emphasis on Australia's Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures.
That's important.
Very. And just to clear up something, you sometimes hear the NQF strongly promotes partnerships with families. It's absolutely not about services working in isolation from parents.
So collaboration is key.
Collaboration is seen as fundamental. Yeah.
That reframing is really interesting. But an idea, even a great one, needs structure, right? So what are the actual, moving parts, the components that make the NQF work? It's more than just one thing.
Oh, definitely. It's multi-layered. Think of it like maybe a four-legged stool. It needs all four for stability.
Okay, I like that analogy. What are the legs?
Right. So first leg,
Yeah.
the National Quality Standard, or NQS, that sets the quality benchmark.
Standards, got it. Second, the assessment and rating processes. That's how services get measured against those standards.
Measuring quality.
Third, the Education and Care Services National Law and Regulations. That's the legal and operational rulebook.
The rules and regs. Yep.
And fourth, the approved learning frameworks. These guide the actual teaching and curriculum side of things.
What kids learn and how.
Exactly. And just to be clear, things like, say, specific online training modules or big public consultations, they aren't part of these four core pillars. They exist, but they're separate.
Okay, that stool analogy helps visualize it. So who exactly falls under this NQF umbrella? Is it every single place that looks after kids?
It covers a lot, but not everything. It definitely includes outside school hours care, before and after school care, preschool or kindergarten, long daycare, and family daycare. Those are the main ones.
So the main formal care types.
Pretty much. But it's also useful to know what isn't covered, like parental care at home, obviously.
Or those one-off recreational things, like a casual Saturday morning music class or a holiday sports camp.
Ah, okay. So it's focused on the ongoing structured education and care services.
Precisely.
All right, so we've got the philosophy, the structure. The big question for families is, how do you actually know if a service is good quality? How do those principles turn into something you can trust? That's where the NQS, the National Quality Standard, comes in, right? You said that's the benchmark.
Absolutely. The NQS is the heart of it, quality-wise. Services get assessed and rated against it by their regulatory authority.
And that's the state or territory government body?
Exactly. The specific government department responsible in that jurisdiction. And they assess against 7 distinct quality areas. Think of them as different lenses to view quality through.
7 areas. Okay, what are...
Right. Well, let's run through them quickly. 1, educational program and practice.
Okay.
So what kids are learning and how.
Okay. Learning.
Children's health and safety. Pretty self-explanatory, but absolutely critical.
Health and safety.
3, physical environment. Is the space safe, stimulating, good for kids?
Actual place. Got it.
4, staffing arrangements. This is about ratios, enough staff, and their qualifications.
Staffing important.
5, relationships with children. How educators interact, connect, respond to kids.
Interactions.
Yeah. 6, collaborative partnerships with families and communities. Engaging beyond just the center doors.
Working with parents and the community.
Yep. And 7, governance and leadership.
Oh.
How the service is managed, its vision, how it improves.
Leadership. Okay. So those 7 cover what pretty much everything.
They form a really comprehensive picture, yes.
So knowing those areas, how does a service actually get assessed? Can you walk us through the steps, the assessment and reading process?
Sure. It's quite a structured process. Think of it like stages. 1, first, the provider does a self-assessment. They look at their own practices against the NQS.
They look themselves first.
Right. They know their service best. 2, then they submit a quality improvement plan, a QIP. This isn't just paperwork. It's their plan for getting better.
A roadmap for improvement.
Exactly. 3, then the regulatory authority sends written notice saying, okay, the assessment process has started.
It's official.
4,
Yeah.
then comes the big one. The regulatory authority visits the service in person. They observe what's happening on the ground.
The inspection visit.
5, after that visit, they issue a draft assessment report. The service gets to see it and give feedback.
A chance for input.
Yes. 6, after considering feedback, the final report and the final rating notice are issued. Again, there's a review period.
Final decision time.
And finally, number 7, for transparency. Those official ratings get published on the National Register, so everyone can see them.
So families can actually look them up online.
Precisely.
That makes sense. Now, during those visits, you mentioned authorized officers. Who are they exactly, and what can they actually do when they're observing? Are there limits?
That's a really important point. These authorized officers are trained inspectors from the regulatory authority. They have a specific job during visits. For example, they can definitely ask educators, what would you do in an emergency?
JIC procedures.
Right. They absolutely can and do observe how educators and children interact. That's key for Quality Area 5.
See it in action.
And they can look at all the required documents, health records, safety checks, staff qualifications, even relevant court orders if needed.
Compliance stuff.
Yes. Now, what they can't do is also clearly defined. They can't say, watch educators while they're on their lunch break.
Right, personal time.
Or ask personal questions about a child's family, like about siblings, unless it's directly relevant to care needs documented. Their focus is strictly on the NQF standards and regulations.
Okay, clear boundaries. So after all that, the ratings get published. What do those labels actually mean for a family trying to choose a service, like working towards or meeting?
Yeah, the ratings are designed to be pretty straightforward. Let's break them down. Working towards NQS. This means the service is safe, providing education and care, but there are some areas they need to improve to meet all the standards.
Okay, safe but needs work.
Meeting NQS. This is the solid standard. It means the service meets the NQS in all 7 quality areas. Good, consistent quality.
Meets the standard, good.
Exceeding NQS. This is where services really shine. They go above and beyond the standard in at least 4 areas. And interestingly, 2 of those must be from Quality Area 1 program, 5 relationships, 6 partnerships, or 7 leadership.
So it highlights those key interaction and leadership areas for exceeding.
Exactly. It shows a deliberate focus on those aspects for higher quality.
Excellent. This is the top tier. Awarded by ACQQS itself, it's for services that are truly exceptional and show leadership in the sector. Very hard to get.
The best of best.
And then, at the other end, significant improvement required. This is a serious flag. It means the service isn't meeting key requirements and poses a risk to children's safety. Intervention is required. Okay, that's a critical one to know about. That clarity is so valuable for parents.
It really is. Transparency is key.
Definitely. So beyond the ratings and assessments, you mentioned the laws and regulations, the backbone. What exactly do they cover?
Right. The National Education and Care Laws and Regulations, they provide the detailed operational and legal rules. Think of the law as the main structure, the framework,
The big picture.
and the regulations as the specific instructions, the nuts and bolts.
Gotcha. Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, so they cover really crucial things like educator to child ratios.
Yeah.
How many staff are needed for how many kids?
Very important.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Staff qualifications, what training and certificates educators need, and minimum requirements for each of those 7 quality areas we talked about. In fact, the National Quality Standard itself is actually embedded within the regulations.
Okay. So the standard is part of the rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what's not usually in the regulations are things like, say, the specific fees of
Yeah.
center charges.
Right. Pricing isn't regulated there.
No. Or the exact application process for getting a learning framework approved that's handled differently.
Okay. So the regs cover the how to operate safely and well, but what about the what to teach? The curriculum side. That's the approved learning frameworks you mentioned.
Precisely. There are the educational guides. There are 2 main ones for different age groups. For the little ones, birth to 5 years, it's belonging, being, and becoming. The early years learning framework for Australia, usually just called the EYLF.
EYLF. Heard of that one?
And then for school-age kids, so before and after school care, vacation care is My Time, Our Place, framework for school-age care in Australia.
Okay. One for early years, one for school age.
Yep. And their common goal is to guide educators in making curriculum decisions, to help them plan ways to extend and enrich children's learning right from birth through those early years, and importantly, supporting that transition into school.
Making sure it all connects up.
Exactly. Continuity is important.
So we've broken down the NQF, the standards, the assessment, the rules, the learning guides. If we step back and look at the big picture, what's the actual impact been since 2012? Has it made a real difference?
Oh, absolutely. The impact has been significant and largely very positive. We've seen definite improvements in educator qualifications right across Australia.
Better trained staff.
Yes, which generally leads to better interactions and learning. We've also got much more consistent national oversight now, which has reduced that state-by-state lottery feel.
That consistency again?
And as we talked about with the ratings, there's way more transparency for families. You can actually see how a service is performing.
Empowering for parents.
Definitely. And all these things, better staff, consistency, transparency, they all contribute to better outcomes for children, which, at the end of the day, is what it's all about.
You sometimes hear people, maybe those not in the sector, dismiss it as just more red tape. But listening to you, it sounds like it's much more fundamental than that.
Look, any comprehensive system will have processes, but it's crucial to see why they're there. It's not bureaucracy for bureaucracy's sake.
It's about the kids.
It's about children's outcomes, their safety, their learning, their well-being. That detailed framework is there to support and drive quality. It's an investment.
Right.
And because it's about quality, it's not set in stone, it has to evolve. ACQA, the national authority, regularly reviews and updates things. For instance, they launched a revised EYLF version 2.0 in 2023.
Oh, recently updated.
Yes. And it wasn't just minor edits. It significantly boosted the focus on children's own agency, their voice in their learning, and embedded Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives much more deeply.
So responding to new understandings.
Exactly. It shows the system is adaptable and committed to incorporating best practice as we learn more.
Okay, so let's quickly wrap up the main takeaways for you listening. The NQFF, it's this robust, dynamic system. It's got multiple parts working together to ensure and keep improving the quality of early childhood education and care in Australia.
It's not just a static checklist.
No, it's a living framework focused on improvement.
And hopefully you now have a clearer picture of the benchmarks, the processes, the whole philosophy behind the NQF.
Yeah.
And that knowledge, whether you're a parent choosing care, an educator working in it, or just someone interested, it empowers you. You have a better sense of how children's learning and development are being supported nationally.
Definitely clearer now.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. We know these frameworks evolve, like with EYLF 2.0, and our understanding of child development is always growing. So looking ahead, say over the next 10 years, what new ideas or innovations might really redefine what best practice means in early education?
That's a great question.
And how might the NQF need to adapt again to make sure every single child truly thrives in the future? Something to ponder.